Yo, what's good? It's your man 100 Grand Ross, The Rock Never Stops. Tonight I wanted to do this video for the Detroit Piston fans. Is what Jaden Ivey has shown us this season good enough to make you guys pass on Scoot Henderson in the draft? If you enjoyed the video, smash the like button. If you don't like the video, let me know why in the comment section. Otherwise, I'm just going to jump into it here. Look, at the beginning of the season, I was really high on Jaden Ivey. I thought he would be an incredible pickup for this team. I thought next to Cade Cunningham, he would look amazing because I saw Cade Cunningham being the floor general. I just saw him being the one dominating the ball, setting guys up, taking on most of the playmaking responsibilities and facilitating responsibilities, and Ivey being able to play off him, kind of almost in that Eric Gordon role where he's getting out in transition, shooting open kick-out threes, and putting a lot of pressure on the rim. Instead, we all know Cade Cunningham goes down, and Jaden Ivey is thrust into the starting point guard role. Look, it's been up and down with Jaden Ivey, and anybody who pretends like what they've seen from Jaden Ivey this season is good enough to consider him can't miss, right? They would be fooling themselves. Countless players start off having good rookie years, have pretty decent numbers. You know, we all remember Michael Carter Williams. I'm not saying he's the same guy, but I'm saying we remember. He was a rookie of the year, right? And Jaden Ivey is nowhere near a rookie of the year, right? And I'm not saying that he hasn't shown flashes, but I am saying that to pretend like it hasn't been up and down, like it hasn't been probably more downs than ups. And even in games where he has had good stats, you still looked at him and was like, this is definitely not a point guard of the future. And I really wouldn't even say that he is a point guard. I do think he has some point guard abilities, right? I think he's kind of like in that hybrid role where you really want him off the ball, but in a pinch or in certain transition moments, you don't mind him bringing it up. And I think it's okay that the Detroit Pistons used him as a point guard in his rookie year, especially with Cade down, because it gives him the opportunity to develop those skills, much in the way that the Wizards did with Bradley Beal when John Wall went down, or Devin Booker was used, for a season or two playing the de facto point guard. D Wade was done with this. Michael Jordan, right? A lot of the great wing scorers, shooting guards play point guard for a full season, if not two, to really develop the playmaking and facilitating skills that it takes to really be a dominant shooting guard in this league. But here's the thing. One thing has been clear this season is that the playmaking, the floor generalship and facilitation does not come natural to Jaden Ivey. And you can see that he's worked on it. I mean, you can see that he's learned to make the reads. He's learned to make the certain passes, whether it's a kick out on the drive to the opposite corner or the opposite wing. It doesn't matter how much improvement I've seen this year. You can see it does not come natural. It is a secondary effort. It is a mental effort to figure out how to make the right read. And I'm not saying that there's something wrong with that. But what I am saying is when you think about the talent that Scoot Henderson is, right? The major difference between them, I think, is height a little bit. And they're built definitely different. When I talk about the physical differences and the abilities that they have physically, athletically, they are very similar athletes in terms of their leaping ability, their speed up and down the court, their ability to put pressure on the rim. Both very explosive athletes. Though I would have to say that Scoot Henderson naturally has an ability to adjust his speed in the smaller spaces. And I want to get into that in a moment. But I would say that this season, Jaden Ivey, he's shown me that as much as he's improved, this is not natural for him to play the point guard position. And so what you have to start thinking of is, what does he look like at the shooting guard position, right? How does he compare to other starting level shooting guards? Do you see him arising to the level where he can be a starting shooting guard in the NBA at 6'4", 200 pounds, about a 6'9" wingspan, very athletic? Can he be that guy for you? Can he play at a high level? Can he be a starting level shooting guard for your team for the future? Right? Now that's something I want to get back to at the end of this video. What I want to talk about when it comes to Scoot Henderson is he reminds me a lot of Baron Davis. Not as good of a facilitator, right? Baron Davis, I mean, he was an absolute wizard with his floor vision, his ability to play make for others and himself. I think Scoot Henderson is every bit of the physical kind of bowling ball of a point guard who's absolutely explosive. I think he's in definitely better conditioning than Baron Davis ever was, which hopefully will bode well for him long term in terms of his knees and back and hips and all of that, other things that Baron Davis had to deal with throughout his career. But his size, his physical size, is just downright imposing. It's one of those things where he's learned how to get over that on-ball screen, and then when he does and he curls it around almost in that Drew Holiday, he gets that body on you and that shoulder around, and once he gets that shoulder around you, there's no way you're getting back in front. There's no way you're getting between him and the basket. Once he puts you behind that shoulder, behind his back, you are sealed off. And he has the ability to explode to the rim, pull up for 15 feet with that beautiful pull-up jump shot, right? Or he can give you a little floater, or he can give you a step back and give you a little shake. But how he operates in that small space, I think is what separates him and Jaden Ivey, right? You can actually see Scoot being a de facto bona fide starting NBA point guard that is able to impose his will and has the ability to elevate potentially to the point of an all-star, right? And I think that this is the major thing that I'm differentiating between Scoot Henderson and Jaden Ivey at the position that they are forecasted at, right? Not necessarily the position that they're playing right now, Jaden Ivey specifically, right? Who do you see having the highest ascension? And I think that when I look at the two, I think that without a doubt, it's Scoot Henderson. Scoot Henderson has the look of a starting all-star level NBA point guard who naturally can run his position, who can guide the team. He was doing it last year as a 17, 18-year-old who would have been a senior in high school last year, right? He was dominating the G League. You have to remember the G League is NCAA all-stars, not just NCAA players, right? He doesn't get to go up against the Virginia Commonwealth and the something IT Tech, institute. He's not going up against the 5'10" point guards and the guys who are never going to sniff, the Spanish ACB league, let alone the G League, let alone the NBA. Scoot Henderson was playing last year as a high school senior, dominating against NCAA All-Stars. And this year, even though his stats have gone down a little bit, even though his shooting percentages aren't where we want it to be, we still remember where he's been already. 2 years in the G League, dominating against grown men. You have to remember, the G League is pretty much 23 and up. It's 23 through 26, 27. Most of these guys, and some of them are NBA veterans who drop down to get their legs, right? Guys who are still fighting to get in at 24, 23 years old, 25 years old, right? Guys like Jeremy Lamb, right? Guys that can contribute to championship level teams, right? And so when we think about the veterans, the NCAA All-Stars that Scoot Henderson is dominating against, it's hard not to forecast his success when he gets to the NBA next year, when he has more spacing, when he has better shooting, when he has far more talented teammates. Like if he's on the Pistons, he's got Cade Cunningham, he's got James Wiseman, right? He's got guys like Jaden Ivey. He's going to have guys who will force the defense to pay just as much attention to them as they are him, right? Something that Damian Lillard said a long time ago when he got drafted, when people asked if he was going to be able to be just as successful as he was at college in the NBA, he said, yeah. He said, because in the NBA, I only expect to be single covered. In college, I was getting double teamed, triple teamed all the time. I'm only going to have one guy in front of me. And it's the mentality of knowing just how good you are, what happens when you have more talent around you, right? And no one can deny the success, even if it's maybe not championships. You can't deny the success that Damian Lillard has had. Well, I still think Scoot Henderson is going to have a similar type of impact where he has the ability to dominate in the NBA. Now, when I think about the two of them, if I'm Detroit, look, I like Brandon Miller. I mean, he's got the off-court stuff, and, we'll see whatever happens with that. But at the end of the day, when it comes to Jaden Ivey and Scoot Henderson, I'm sorry, Ivey. We know that you're sliding over to the shooting guard position, and whether or not you can become an NBA-level starting shooting guard is yet to be seen. We got to see those shooting percentages come up. Right? We got to see you being able to handle the ball a little bit better, defend a little bit better on the perimeter. You give great effort, but we're going to have to see some more things. Scoot, however, Scoot is in that Cade Cunningham realm. He's that guy we know he's going to be fine. Not just fine, we know he has the track record and the outlook where we're looking at all-star to great. We're looking at all-star to all-NBA level player, right? And that's what we're looking at when it comes to the difference between the two, between Jaden Ivey and Scoot Henderson. But as always, I want to know what you all think. What do you think the Detroit Pistons should do in the draft? Of course, if they don't get Victor Wembanyama, the number one pick. What do you think they're going to do? Do you think that they go with a Brandon Miller instead of a Scoot Henderson, right? Do you think that they need to, go for that wing because Ivy can be the long-term guard because Cade can maybe run the point? I'm not mad at that opinion. Or do you think that they go with Scoot and figure the rest out later? Holler at me in the comment section. Like, subscribe if you enjoyed the video. And I'll holler at y'all next time. Peace.